Grand Meridian Hotel, Manhattan's elite dining room. Zara Johnson, 25, serves table 7 in her black uniform. William Ashworth, billionaire CEO, waves dismissively at her approach. "You people are so slow," he sneers to his colleagues. "Look at this one. Completely incompetent." The other men chuckle. One adds, "Should have stuck with the white girls, William." Exactly. These types don't belong in civilized establishments. Zara's jaw clenches. She's heard worse. Reaches for his glass, then freezes. A sapphire ring gleams on his finger. Silver band. Ceylon stone. Identical to the one her dying mother left her. The tray crashes to marble. Crystal shatters. "My mom has that ring!" Silence explodes through the dining room. Every head turns. William Ashworth goes white as paper. His hands shake uncontrollably. Tears pour down his face. 26 years of secrets just died. Security escorted Zara out within minutes. No explanation, no chance to speak. Just cold marble under her feet and curious stares burning into her back. Brooklyn, 11:47 p.m. Her studio apartment, 400 square feet of cracked walls and dreams deferred. Zara kicked off aching feet, staring at the acceptance letter taped to her refrigerator. Harvard Medical School, full ride scholarship. Declined 2 years ago when mom's cancer bills hit. Sarah Johnson had fought stage 4 breast cancer with food stamps and prayer. Lost the battle. Left behind medical debt that would haunt Zara for decades. The jewelry box sat on her nightstand like a shrine. Inside, wrapped in faded tissue paper, lay the sapphire ring. Ceylon stone caught the streetlight from her window. Silver band worn smooth by decades of wear. "This ring holds our story, baby." Mom's voice echoed from the hospital bed. "Your daddy gave it to me when we were young and foolish enough to believe love conquered everything." Zara had rolled her eyes then. Mom's fairy tales about some rich white man who'd swept her off her feet. Pure fantasy from a woman slowly dying. "He has the matching ring, Zara. Find him. He needs to know you exist." The stories always felt like fever dreams. A Harvard MBA program, secret meetings, stolen moments, a love so deep it scared his family. They tried to kill you 3 times before you were born. That part always made Zara shiver. Mom would touch her belly, eyes distant. "First time, they drugged my drink at a charity gala. I lost your brother at 6 weeks. The second time, they ran my car off the road. Lost your sister at 14 weeks. The third time, they poisoned my food when I visited his house. Lost another baby at 12 weeks. 3 miscarriages, 3 attempts, 3 dead siblings Zara would never meet. But you, baby girl, you were smart. You hid from them. Stayed quiet when I went into hiding. Didn't announce yourself until we were far away from their reach." Sarah had fled to Detroit. Worked 3 jobs, raised Zara alone. Never spoke William's name aloud, but Zara found old photos hidden in Mom's Bible. Harvard yearbook pictures, newspaper clippings about Ashworth Industries. The phone buzzed. Text from her roommate Keisha. "Girl, you're all over social media." Someone filmed the whole thing. #Ringgate is trending. Zara's stomach dropped. She opened Twitter. The video had 2 million views already. Clear audio. Perfect angle. Her voice cracked as she said those 4 words. William's tears streaming like a broken dam. Comments flooded in. "This girl is obviously lying for money." "Gold digger alert." "Why is the billionaire crying, though?" "Something's not right here." But buried in the hate, some voices of reason. Look at his reaction. That man recognized something. Those tears were real. You can't fake that kind of shock. Black stories matter. Let her speak. Zara Googled William Ashworth for the 100th time. Born 1968. Harvard MBA 1997. Never married. No children listed. Company worth $12 billion. But there was something else now. Something she'd missed before. A tiny newspaper clipping from Harvard Crimson, April 1997. Group photo of MBA graduates. William in the back row, arm around a beautiful black woman. The caption read, "Students celebrate graduation weekend." The woman looked exactly like Mom. Same smile, same eyes, same grace. Zara zoomed in on William's hand in the photo. A sapphire ring gleamed on his finger, the matching piece to the one sitting inches from her now. Her phone rang. Unknown number. "Is this Zara Johnson?" The voice was shaky, older. "Who's asking?" "My name is Margaret O'Sullivan. I was a labor nurse at Detroit General in 1998. I delivered you." Zara's heart stopped. "What?" "I saw the video. Recognized your mother's ring immediately. I've been carrying a secret for 25 years. About the night you were born. About the man who came looking for your mother. William Ashworth came to Detroit 3 times, 1998, 2003, and 2010, always asking about Sarah Johnson, always carrying flowers, always leaving heartbroken when we told him we had no record of her." The room spun. She gave a fake name. "Maria Santos. Your mother was terrified someone would find you both. Made me promise to never tell anyone about the birth. But that man, he loved her. I could see it in his eyes." Tears blurred Zara's vision. "Why are you telling me this now?" "Because lies have expiration dates, honey. And after 25 years, it's time for the truth to breathe." Margaret's voice softened. "Your mother made me swear on my children's lives that I'd never reveal your location. But she's gone now. And that man has been searching for you both ever since you disappeared." The line went quiet except for Margaret's breathing. "There's something else, Zara. Something your mother never told you about the night you were born. What secret had Mom carried to her grave? And why had William never stopped searching for them?" Margaret's words hung in the air like smoke. "Your mother went into labor screaming a man's name, not your father's, someone else entirely." Zara gripped the phone. "What name?" "Michael." She kept crying, "Tell Michael I'm sorry. Tell Michael I tried to wait." But when I asked who Michael was, she went silent, refused to explain. The line crackled. Margaret continued. 3 days later, a man showed up. Tall, well-dressed, heartbroken. Said he was looking for Sarah Johnson and his unborn child. But the name on your birth certificate was Maria Santos. William came 3 days after I was born? Every nurse on the floor remembered him, this wealthy white man crying in our waiting room. He had a photo of your mother, pregnant. They looked so happy together. Zara's hands shook. What happened? Hospital policy. We couldn't give information about patients using different names. He left his contact information, begged us to call if we ever heard from Sarah Johnson. I still have his business card in my old nursing bag. The conversation ended with Margaret promising to overnight the card. Zara sat in darkness, pieces of a puzzle floating just out of reach. Morning brought new problems. Her phone buzzed with missed calls, voicemails from reporters, lawyers, people claiming to have information. Fame was a poisonous gift she'd never wanted. The New York Times had picked up the story. Headline: Viral video sparks questions about Billionaire's past. The article included screenshots from social media, expert analysis of William's emotional reaction, and speculation about the ring's significance. But it was the comments section that revealed the real story. Someone using the handle Harvard MBA 1997 had posted a long message. I was there. William Ashworth and Sarah Johnson were inseparable during our MBA program. She was brilliant, top 5% of our class. He was completely in love with her. But his family, they made it clear she wasn't welcome in their world. I watched him choose money over love. We all did. It destroyed him. Another comment from Boston Nurse 1990s. I worked labor and delivery at Boston General. 3 women came in during 1996 to 1997 with suspicious pregnancy complications. All claimed to be dating the same wealthy man. All had been drugged or poisoned. 2 died. 1 disappeared. The hospital covered it up. Zara screenshotted everything before the comments disappeared. Her laptop became a weapon of investigation. Harvard's online directory, alumni databases, newspaper archives from the late 1990s. Each search revealed more fragments of her parents' love story. The Boston Globe, October 15, 1996. Harvard student hospitalized after charity gala. The brief article mentioned an unnamed MBA student who suffered food poisoning at a fundraiser hosted by the Ashworth family. No follow-up stories existed. Harvard Crimson, December 2, 1996. Car accident sends 2 students to the emergency room. Sarah Johnson and an unnamed male student were treated for minor injuries after their vehicle hit black ice on Starro Drive. Police found no evidence of foul play, but the accident occurred at 2 a.m. on a road Sarah never used. The pieces formed a terrifying pattern. 3 assassination attempts, 3 dead babies, 1 survivor. Zara called Harvard's alumni office, claiming to be a genealogy researcher. The administrative assistant was chatty and helpful. Oh, Sarah Johnson, I remember her. Brilliant student. So tragic what happened. What do you mean? She disappeared during spring semester senior year. Just vanished. We heard rumors about family problems, maybe financial trouble. William Ashworth was devastated. He used to come to our office asking if we'd heard from her. How often? Every few months for years. He funded a scholarship in her name. Full ride for underprivileged students pursuing medical degrees. Still active today. Zara's breath caught. The scholarship that had been offered to her 2 years ago. The one she'd declined because of Mom's medical bills. William had been trying to help her without knowing who she was. That afternoon brought a FedEx package from Margaret. Inside, a yellowed business card. William Ashworth, MBA candidate, Harvard Business School. Handwritten on the back, please call if you hear from Sarah. I love her. W. But there was something else. A Polaroid photo, faded and cracked. A young black woman in a hospital bed holding a newborn baby. On the back, Margaret's handwriting. Sarah Santos, Johnson, and baby girl, March 15, 1998, 3:47 a.m. Zara stared at her mother's face. So young, so scared, so alone. Her phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. We need to talk. W.A. William had found her number. She stared at the message for 20 minutes before responding. Boston Common. 6 p.m. Come alone. The subway ride felt eternal. Every passenger seemed to recognize her from the viral video. Whispers followed her footsteps. Cameras clicked when they thought she wasn't looking. Boston Common at sunset. William Ashworth sat on a bench near the pond, feeding ducks with shaking hands. He looked older than his 55 years. Hollow. Haunted. He stood when he saw her approaching. Zara. Mr. Ashworth. They faced each other like strangers, though DNA had already written their story. I've been looking for you for 25 years, he whispered. Why didn't you try harder? His laugh was bitter. I hired every private investigator on the East Coast, spent millions. Your mother erased herself completely. New name, new state, new life. She was protecting you. From what? William's eyes filled with tears. From my family, from people who would kill you just for existing. The miscarriages weren't accidents. No, his voice broke. My father, my uncles, they saw Sarah as a threat to our bloodline, to our fortune. They tried to eliminate the problem 3 times. But Mom escaped, with you inside her. The 4th pregnancy, the one they didn't know about until it was too late. Zara pulled out the sapphire ring. William gasped, recognizing it immediately. She never took it off, Zara said, even when she was dying. Even when the cancer made her fingers swell. She said it connected her to the only man who'd ever truly loved her. William reached into his pocket, producing the matching ring. Identical Ceylon sapphire. Identical silver band. I bought these in Harvard Square. Spring 1997. I was going to propose after graduation. What happened? My father threatened to kill her. Not metaphorically, literally. He showed me photos of the other women who'd gotten too close to the family money, hospital records, death certificates. He made it clear Sarah would be next if I didn't end it. So you abandoned her. I was 29 years old and a coward. I chose my trust fund over the woman I loved. Biggest mistake of my life. The ducks scattered as Zara stood abruptly. I need DNA proof, official documentation, medical records, everything. William nodded. I've already contacted my lawyer. We can have results within 48 hours. And if the tests confirm what we both know, then I spend the rest of my life making up for 25 years of cowardice. Zara walked away without another word, leaving William alone with his guilt and the ducks. But she hadn't walked far when she heard footsteps behind her. Not William's. Someone else. Someone who'd been watching their entire conversation. Who had followed them to Boston Common? And why did Zara suddenly feel like she was walking into the same trap that had killed her siblings? The footsteps matched Zara's pace perfectly. Too perfect. She quickened her stride toward the subway entrance. The steps quickened too. Her phone buzzed. Text from William. Don't go home tonight. My family knows about our meeting. You're in danger. Too late. A black sedan pulled up beside her. 2 men in expensive suits stepped out. Miss Johnson? We'd like to have a word. The taller one flashed a badge. Private security. Mr. Ashworth Sr. would like to meet you. Zara's blood froze. William's father. The man who'd orchestrated 3 murders. I don't think so. It wasn't a request. The shorter man moved to block her path to the subway. Pedestrians walked past as if nothing was happening. Rich men in suits weren't threats in their world. Zara's finger hovered over William's number. The tall man noticed. Call him. He'll tell you to get in the car. We have something that belongs to you. They drove through Boston's financial district in silence. Glass towers reflected the setting sun like mirrors hiding secrets. The car stopped at Ashworth Tower, 40 floors of steel and power. The elevator climbed to the penthouse. Zara's ears popped. The doors opened to reveal an office larger than her entire building back home. Charles Ashworth sat behind a mahogany desk that could fit a football team. 78 years old, silver hair, eyes like chips of ice. On his desk sat a manila folder thick with documents. Sit. Zara remained standing. Charles smiled without warmth. DNA results came back this morning. 99.97% probability of paternal match. Congratulations. You're officially my granddaughter. How did you get my DNA? The broken glass from the hotel. Modern technology is remarkable. He opened the folder, spreading photographs across the desk. Crime scene photos, hospital records, death certificates. 3 women. 1996 to 1997, all claimed to be carrying Ashworth heirs. The first photo showed a young Latina woman, eyes closed, lying on a morgue table. Elena Vasquez, Harvard law student. Car accident on the Mass Pike. Brake lines cut. The second photo was harder to look at. Jennifer Lane, MIT doctoral candidate. Food poisoning at our annual charity gala. Ricin in her champagne. The third made Zara's knees buckle. A black woman, barely visible under sheets. Angela Washington, Boston University medical student. House fire. Very tragic. Charles gathered the photos calmly. Your mother was smarter than the others. She ran. You're confessing to murder. I'm sharing family history. These women threatened our bloodline, our fortune, our legacy. They were pregnant with your son's children. My son was young and stupid. He confused physical attraction with love. We corrected his mistakes. Zara's hands clenched into fists. They were human beings. They were gold diggers who saw dollar signs instead of love, just like you. The insult hung in the air like poison. Charles continued, but you're different. You're already here, already born, already a problem that needs solving. Are you threatening me? I'm offering you a choice. He slid a check across the desk. $10 million. Made out to Zara Johnson. Take the money. Disappear. Change your name. Move to another country. Live quietly and comfortably for the rest of your life. And if I refuse, Charles's smile turned predatory. Then you join your mother sooner than expected. The office door opened. William burst in, face flushed with panic. Dad, what the hell are you doing? Cleaning up your mess. Again. William saw the check, the photos, the fear in Zara's eyes. You bastard! You killed them! I protected our family, just like I'm protecting it now. She's your granddaughter. She's a threat. Nothing more. William moved between Charles and Zara. I won't let you hurt her. You don't have a choice. The board met this afternoon. Unanimous decision. You're mentally unstable, unfit to run the company. Your trust fund is frozen pending psychiatric evaluation. The room spun around Zara. A corporate coup, planned and executed while she and William shared their first conversation. You orchestrated this entire thing, she whispered. Charles nodded. The viral video was unfortunate, but it gave us the opportunity we needed to remove William from power and eliminate you permanently. I won't take your money. Then you'll take a bullet. William stepped forward. You'll have to go through me first, if necessary. Father and son faced each other across 25 years of lies and violence. Zara saw the family resemblance for the first time. Same jawline, same determined eyes, same stubborn pride. But William had something Charles lacked, guilt that had transformed into courage. I let you kill the woman I loved, William said quietly. I let you murder my children. I let you turn me into a coward, but I won't let you touch my daughter. Charles pressed a button on his desk. Security guards entered from both sides. Escort them out. Make sure they understand the consequences of refusing our generosity. The guards moved forward. William raised his hands. Wait. I'll take the deal. Zara stared at him in shock. What? 10 million for her. But I want guarantees, written contracts, legal protection. William, no. Charles smiled triumphantly. Smart boy. Finally showing some family sense. I want the check rewritten to 50 million, and I want my trust fund restored. Ambitious. Why would I agree to that? Because I know where the bodies are buried. Literally. The room went silent except for the hum of air conditioning. William continued. Elena, Jennifer, Angela, they're not the only ones.
I've spent 25 years investigating every suspicious death connected to our family. I have evidence, photographs, recorded conversations, enough to put you in prison for life. Charles's composure cracked slightly. You're bluffing. Try me. Zara watched this deadly chess game unfold, realizing she was the pawn everyone wanted to sacrifice. William pulled out his phone. One call to the FBI, one email to the Boston Globe. Your empire crumbles in 24 hours. You'd destroy your own family. You destroyed it the day you started killing innocent women. Charles stared at his son for a long moment, then pressed the intercom button. Prepare a new check. 50 million, and reinstate William's accounts. Victory felt hollow in Zara's chest. She was rich now, but still hunted. William turned to her. Take the money. Disappear. It's the only way you'll survive. What about you? I'll handle my father. This isn't over, Charles said coldly. Money doesn't buy safety. It just makes you a more expensive target. They left Ashworth Tower as the sun set over Boston, 50 million richer, but infinitely more dangerous. William handed her the check outside on the sidewalk. This isn't what I wanted, Zara said. It's what we have. My father won't stop. He'll find another way to eliminate you. Then we fight back. With what? He controls the company, the board, and half the politicians in Massachusetts. Zara looked up at Ashworth Tower, 40 floors of corrupt power stretching toward the sky. We fight with the truth, all of it, every murder, every cover-up, every crime. That's suicide. Maybe, but I'm tired of running from ghosts. As they walked away, neither noticed the drone following them overhead, or the sniper scope tracking their movement from a building across the street. Charles Ashworth had agreed to pay $50 million, but who said he intended to let them live long enough to spend it? The red laser dot appeared on William's chest as they reached the street corner. Get down! Zara tackled him behind a parked car. The bullet shattered the windshield where his head had been seconds earlier. Screams erupted from pedestrians. Cars screeched to stops. William's face was pale with shock. He's not waiting, Zara panted. Your father wants us dead now. More shots peppered the car above their heads. Professional, calculated. The sniper had elevation and clear sight lines. William's phone buzzed. Text from Charles. You have 10 minutes to get to the harbor. Alone. Or the girl dies first. It's a trap, Zara said. Everything's a trap now. The army crawled between parked cars toward the subway entrance. The sniper adjusted position, trying to maintain visual contact. Red dots danced across concrete like deadly fireflies. A city bus pulled up, blocking the sniper's line of sight. They sprinted for the subway stairs as more bullets sparked off metal railings. Underground, surrounded by evening commuters, they finally caught their breath. Boston Harbor in 7 minutes, William checked his watch. Impossible even by cab. Unless he wants us to be late. Zara pulled out her phone, scrolling through news apps. The shooting was already viral. Hashtag Boston Sniper trending. Videos of them diving for cover played on repeat. Look at this, she showed William a Twitter post. Someone live-streamed the whole thing. 5 million views already. The video showed the sniper's muzzle flash from a building window. Enhanced screenshots revealed the shooter's face. Military-grade equipment. Professional stance. William recognized him immediately. Marcus Webb, my father's head of security, former Navy SEAL. How many people work for your father? Enough to make us disappear permanently. They took the blue line toward the harbor, changing trains twice to lose potential tails. But Zara noticed the same faces following them. 3 different platforms, 3 different trains. We're still being tracked, she whispered. William checked his phone. Location services enabled. Corporate security software installed by the company IT department. They can follow us anywhere.
He powered off the device and removed the battery. Zara did the same, then studied the subway map. There's another way to the harbor. Through the old tunnels. What old tunnels? Abandoned sections from the 1920s. My mom worked maintenance for the MBTA before she got sick. Showed me the underground maps. They slipped off at Government Center, found the maintenance door Sarah had described. The lock was rusted but functional. Zara picked it using techniques learned in Brooklyn's rougher neighborhoods. The tunnel stretched into darkness, lit only by emergency lighting every 50 feet. Their footsteps echoed off wet concrete. Rats scattered from their path. "How did your mother know about this place?" William asked. "She explored everywhere when she first came to Boston. Said she needed escape routes in case your family found us. Smart woman. She was terrified of you people for 25 years. They walked in silence, following the tunnel toward Boston Harbor. Water dripped from ceiling pipes. Graffiti covered the walls. Decades of urban art and rebellion. "Zara, there's something I need to tell you." She kept walking. "What now?" "The scholarship I funded. The one you declined 2 years ago. It wasn't random." She stopped. "What do you mean?" "I've been tracking students named Johnson in Massachusetts since 2010, looking for any connection to your mother. When your application came through Harvard admissions, I knew." "You knew I was your daughter?" "I suspected. The age matched, the hometown matched. Your mother's maiden name was Johnson." The tunnel suddenly felt smaller, more suffocating. "You've been watching me for years?" "Protecting you. Making sure you have opportunities. That scholarship was my way of helping without interfering." "Why didn't you contact me directly?" William's voice cracked. "Because I'm a coward. Because I was afraid you'd reject me. Because I didn't deserve to be your father after abandoning your mother." They reached a junction where 3 tunnels met. Zara checked her mother's hand-drawn map, now 20 years old. "Harbor's that way," she pointed left. They climbed rusty ladder rungs toward street level. The access hatch opened behind a seafood restaurant. Boston Harbor stretched before them, dark water reflecting city lights. Charles Ashworth waited on Pier 14, flanked by 4 security guards. No weapons visible, but their suits couldn't hide the shoulder holsters. "Punctual," Charles called as they approached. "I appreciate that in my family members." "Let's get this over with," William said. "Not quite yet." "We're waiting for someone." A limousine pulled up. The rear door opened. A woman stepped out, elegant and poised despite her 75 years. Zara's breath caught. She recognized the face from old photographs hidden in her mother's Bible. "Hello, dear," the woman said warmly. "I'm your grandmother." Victoria Ashworth. The world tilted on its axis. William stared in shock. "Mom? You're supposed to be in Switzerland." Victoria smiled sadly. "I've been in Boston for 3 months, William." Watching, waiting, preparing. Charles's composure cracked slightly. "Victoria, we discussed this. You're not well enough for—" "I'm dying, Charles. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 6 weeks to live, maybe less." Silence stretched across the pier except for water lapping against pylons. Victoria continued, "Which gives me the freedom to tell truths I've hidden for 25 years. She opened her purse, pulling out a thick folder. "Zara, dear, your grandfather isn't the only one who keeps records." Charles stepped forward. "Victoria, don't. Sit down, husband." The command carried decades of suppressed authority. Charles actually took a step back. Victoria handed the folder to Zara. Inside, bank statements, medical records, recorded conversations, photographs. "I was the one who warned your mother," Victoria said quietly. 3 times before each assassination attempt. William's jaw dropped. "What?" "I called her." Anonymous tips told her not to eat the food at the charity gala,
Told her to take a different route home that night. Told her to leave town when she was pregnant with you.
You saved my life,
Zara whispered. I tried to save all of them. Elena, Jennifer, Angela. But I was too late for the first three. Charles's face turned purple with rage. You betrayed your own family. I protected innocent lives from your megalomania. Victoria turned back to Zara. There's more, dear. Your mother didn't just run to Detroit. She called me from the hospital after you were born, told me your exact location, asked me to make sure William could find you if something happened to her. But he never found us. Because I intercepted his private investigators. Redirected them away from Detroit. I wasn't sure if William could be trusted not to tell his father. William looked devastated. You knew where they were? For 25 years? I was protecting them from Charles, and protecting you from making another cowardly choice. I would have done the right thing. Would you? Or would you have folded under family pressure like you did in 1997? The accusation hung in the harbor air like fog. Victoria's voice softened. But people change, William. This week proved that. You finally chose love over money. You finally chose courage over comfort. She turned to Charles. Which is why I'm giving you both everything. From her purse, she produced legal documents. My personal fortune, separate from Ashworth Industries, $200 million, split equally between William and Zara. You can't! Charles exploded. It's my money, earned through my family's textile business before I married you, completely outside your control. Victoria's next words changed everything. But there's a condition. You have to destroy Charles completely. Every crime, every murder, every cover-up. I have enough evidence to put him away for life. She smiled at her granddaughter. Your mother asked me to make sure justice was served. Consider this my dying gift to Sarah's memory. Charles lunged forward, but his security guards stepped between him and Victoria. Ma'am, the lead guard said respectfully, we work for Mrs. Ashworth. Not you. The peer fell silent as Charles realized his own employees had turned against him. Victoria coughed, blood speckling her handkerchief. Loyalty is earned, Charles. You never understood that. But as Victoria collapsed from her cancer and Charles faced total defeat, none of them noticed the bomb timer counting down beneath Pier 14. Charles Ashworth had one final devastating move left to play. The bomb's digital display glowed red beneath the pier, 0447, 0446, 0445. Everyone off the dock, William shouted, helping his mother to her feet. Charles smiled coldly. Remote detonator, one button press and we all die together. You're bluffing, Zara said. Try me. I've got nothing left to lose. Victoria coughed up more blood, but her voice stayed strong. Charles, there are innocent people on nearby boats. Families. Children. Collateral damage. Just like Elena, Jennifer, and Angela. The security guards looked nervously at each other. Trained killers, but not suicidal ones. William's phone, battery reinstalled, buzzed with incoming calls. The media had tracked them to the harbor. News helicopters circled overhead. Camera crews set up on adjacent piers. This is live television, William said. Millions watching. Perfect. They'll witness the end of the Ashworth dynasty. But Charles had miscalculated. The media attention was exactly what Victoria needed. She pulled out her own phone, connecting to Instagram Live. 200,000 viewers joined immediately. Hello, everyone. I'm Victoria Ashworth, wife of billionaire Charles Ashworth, and I'm about to expose 25 years of murder. Charles lunged for her phone. His security guards blocked him. Ma'am, we can't let you threaten Mrs. Ashworth, the lead guard said. Victoria continued streaming. My husband has killed at least 4 young women. I have proof. She held up the evidence folder toward her phone camera. Bank statements showing payments to assassins. Medical reports proving poisoning. Audio recordings of Charles ordering hits. Elena Vasquez, Harvard Law, 1996, murdered by ricin poisoning. The viewer count climbed to 500,000. Jennifer Lane, MIT doctoral candidate, 1997. Car accident, brake lines cut. 1 million viewers now. Comments flooding in faster than anyone could read. Angela Washington, Boston University medical student, 1997. House fire, arson, confirmed. Charles pressed the detonator button on his remote. Nothing happened. Looking for this? One of his security guards held up the actual detonator. We disabled the bomb 20 minutes ago, sir. Victoria smiled weakly. Loyalty, Charles. You never learned. The Instagram live stream hit 2 million viewers. Major news networks picked up the feed. Ashworth murders trending worldwide. But Charles wasn't finished. From his jacket, he pulled a pistol. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. The gun pointed at Zara's head. William stepped between them. Move, son. No. I'll shoot through you if I have to. Then do it. But you'll never hurt her again. Father and son faced each other across a lifetime of fear and control. The Instagram stream captured every word, every expression, every moment of truth. Victoria's voice cut through the tension. Tell them about Sarah, Charles. Shut up. Tell them how you tried to kill my granddaughter 4 times before she was born. The viewer count reached 3 million. International media picked up the story. # Black Stories Matter began trending alongside # Ashworth murders. Tell them about the poison you put in Sarah's food when she visited our house. Charles's hand shook. The gun wavered. Tell them about the car accident you staged on Storrow Drive. Victoria, stop. Tell them about the drugged champagne at our charity gala. The Instagram comments erupted with outrage. Screenshots spread across Twitter. Facebook posts shared the video millions of times. Tell them about the house fire you set when Sarah was 6 months pregnant. Charles cracked. She was going to destroy everything. Our name, our fortune, our bloodline. The confession echoed across Boston Harbor, broadcast live to the world. A black woman carrying an Ashworth heir? Unthinkable. I did what was necessary. William's face went pale. Sarah was 6 months pregnant when she escaped? Victoria nodded sadly. She almost died getting away from that fire. Spent 3 months in a Detroit hospital under a fake name. You were born 2 months premature, Zara. The revelation hit like lightning. Charles had tried to kill Zara when she was still in the womb. You're a monster, William whispered. I'm a survivor. I built this empire. I protected it from contamination. The racial slurs poured out now, captured forever on millions of phones and tablets worldwide. Charles continued his rant. Do you know what it would have done to our stock price? Our board of directors? Our social standing? A half-breed bastard claiming Ashworth blood? The backlash was immediate and global. # boycott. Ashworth exploded across social media. Company stock plummeted in after-hours trading. Board members issued statements distancing themselves from Charles. But the old man wasn't done. I regret nothing. Those women were gold diggers. Sarah Johnson was a welfare queen looking for a payday. Zara had heard enough. She stepped around William, walking directly toward Charles and his gun. Say it to my face. Zara, don't! She ignored William, focusing entirely on Charles. Call my mother a welfare queen to my face. Charles pressed the gun to her forehead. She was a ghetto rat who seduced my son for money. The Instagram stream captured everything. 4 million viewers witnessed Charles Ashworth pressing a loaded gun to his granddaughter's head while hurling racial epithets. My mother worked 3 jobs to keep us alive, Zara said quietly.
She cleaned toilets in office buildings you owned. She changed bedpans in hospitals your foundation funded. She died of cancer because she couldn't afford treatment. Good riddance. The two words sealed Charles's fate. Even his most loyal supporters couldn't defend that level of cruelty. Sirens wailed in the distance. FBI, Boston PD, federal marshals converging on the harbor. You called the authorities, Charles accused Victoria. 20 minutes ago, while you were gloating about your bomb, federal agents swarmed the pier. Charles found himself surrounded by 24 guns, all pointed at him. Drop your weapon, Agent Sarah Martinez commanded through a megaphone. Release the hostages! Charles laughed bitterly. Hostages? These are my family members. Sir, you're holding a gun to an unarmed woman's head on live television. Drop the weapon now! The standoff stretched for 30 seconds that felt like hours. Instagram viewers hit 5 million. International news crews rushed to Boston. The world watched Charles Ashworth's final moments of power. Victoria's voice cut through the chaos. It's over, Charles. Let her go. Nothing's over until I say it's over. But his hand was shaking now. Age, stress, and the weight of exposed crimes taking their toll. Agent Martinez spoke again. Sir, we have evidence of multiple homicides. Surrender peacefully and we can discuss a plea agreement. Plea agreement? Charles's laugh turned hysterical. Do you know who I am? I own senators, judges, police commissioners. Not anymore, Victoria said softly. I released everything, every bribe, every payoff, every corrupt deal. It's all public now. Charles's phone buzzed with notifications. Text messages from politicians, judges, and business leaders all saying the same thing. You're on your own. The gun dropped from his shaking hand. Federal agents moved in immediately, cuffing Charles while reading him his rights. The Instagram stream captured his perp walk, his mumbled threats, his complete destruction. But as Charles was loaded into the FBI van, he managed one final message to Zara. This isn't over, girl. I have friends you haven't met yet. The van doors slammed shut. Charles Ashworth, billionaire patriarch, disappeared into federal custody. Victoria collapsed into William's arms, her cancer-ravaged body finally giving out. Did we do it? She whispered. Is Sarah's justice served? Zara knelt beside her grandmother, taking her hand. Mom would be proud. Victoria smiled through her pain. The evidence is in safe deposit boxes across 3 states. Swiss bank accounts with records of every crime. Video testimonies from witnesses who were too scared to speak before. But as ambulances arrived to treat Victoria, none of them noticed the news helicopter overhead wasn't broadcasting the story. It was recording coordinates. And somewhere in a penthouse across the city, Charles's mysterious friends were already planning their revenge. The news helicopter circled twice more before disappearing into Boston's skyline. Agent Martinez watched it go with suspicious eyes. That chopper wasn't from any media outlet I know, she told William. No call letters, no network logos. Victoria was loaded into an ambulance but refused to leave until she'd spoken privately with Zara. There's one more thing, dear. Victoria's voice was barely a whisper. Charles wasn't the only one involved in those murders. What do you mean? A consortium. Wealthy families who've been eliminating threats for decades. The Ashworths were just one member. Victoria pressed a flash drive into Zara's palm. Names. Bank accounts. Evidence of their other crimes. I've been collecting proof for 20 years. The ambulance doors closed. Victoria's final gift. Ammunition for the war that was coming. Within hours, Charles's friends made their move. Zara's Brooklyn apartment was ransacked. Her roommate Keisha called, terrified. They were looking for something. Asked about rings and flash drives. William's penthouse was invaded too. Professional job. Nothing was stolen, but everything was searched. They met at Boston's FBI field office, hoping federal protection would keep them safe. Agent Martinez reviewed Victoria's flash drive with a growing alarm. This implicates 12 billionaire families, senators, federal judges, even some FBI executives. How do we know who to trust? Zara asked. We don't. But I know someone who can help. Martinez made a secure call to Washington. Within 2 hours, a woman in her 40s arrived by private jet. Sharp suit, sharper eyes, moving with quiet authority. Deputy Attorney General Catherine Walsh, she introduced herself. I've been tracking this consortium for 8 years. She spread photos across the conference table. Faces Zara recognized from society magazines and business journals. The Circle, Walsh explained. 12 families who've controlled American wealth for over a century. When outsiders threaten their power, they eliminate them. Like my mother. Your mother was just the beginning. They've killed hundreds, made it look like accidents, suicides, random violence. Walsh's next revelation chilled them all. Charles Ashworth was the weakest link. They're probably planning to eliminate him in federal custody to prevent further testimony. Can you stop them? Not from inside the system. Too many compromised officials, but there's another way. Walsh pulled out classified documents. Tomorrow night, the Circle meets at a private estate in Martha's Vineyard. Annual gathering to discuss problems and solutions. We've never been able to get inside. What are you suggesting? You go in, wearing a wire. Get them to confess on tape. William shook his head. That's suicide. They'll kill her on sight. Not if she comes as Charles's representative. The plan was insane, but brilliant. Zara would pose as Charles's granddaughter, claiming to have inherited his seat in the Circle. The wire would capture their discussions about past murders and future targets. They know Charles was arrested, Zara pointed out, but they don't know about Victoria's evidence. As far as they know, Charles just had a public breakdown. Rich old men do that sometimes. 24 hours later, Zara stood on the deck of a private yacht approaching Martha's Vineyard. Designer dress, borrowed jewelry, wire hidden in her necklace clasp. She looked like she belonged in their world. The estate was a fortress. Private security, electronic surveillance, no cell phone signals. 12 of America's most powerful families gathered in a room worth more than most countries' GDP. Richard Pemberton, oil fortune, acted as host. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems we have a new member. Charles's granddaughter has requested to address us. Zara stood, every eye in the room evaluating her like a stock purchase. My grandfather's arrest was unfortunate, she began, but it doesn't change our family's commitment to the Circle's mission. And what mission is that? Asked Eleanor Whitmore, pharmaceutical heiress. Protecting our interests. Eliminating threats. Maintaining control. Nods around the table. She was speaking their language. The Sarah Johnson problem was handled poorly, Zara continued. Too messy. Too public. We need cleaner solutions going forward. Agreed, said Marcus Rockwell, tech mogul. Charles's methods were crude. We prefer subtlety. Like the journalist in Miami? Asked Eleanor. Car accident. Very tragic, Marcus smiled coldly. Or that senator's wife in Colorado, added Richard. Skiing accident. Poor visibility that day. Zara's hidden microphone captured every admission, but she needed more. What about current threats? She asked. Several. Richard opened a leather folder. A documentary filmmaker investigating missing persons. A federal prosecutor asking uncomfortable questions. A geneticist whose research could expose certain family relationships. Photos appeared on the table. Faces of people who dared to seek truth. Traditional solutions? Zara asked. The filmmaker gets mugged in Detroit. The prosecutor has a heart attack. The geneticist commits suicide. Timeline? This month. We can't let these stories gain momentum. Zara forced herself to nod approvingly while her soul screamed. These people discussed murder like stock options. But then, Eleanor Whitmore asked the question that changed everything. What about William? He's still a liability. The room went quiet. Richard studied Zara's face carefully. William Ashworth remains my father, she said slowly. Family loyalty matters. Loyalty is expensive, Marcus replied. Dead loyalty is free. Are you threatening my family? We're offering you a choice. Join us completely, or join Charles in federal custody. The trap snapped shut. They'd suspected her from the beginning. Richard stood, pulling out a pistol. Zara Johnson, the little girl who should have died 25 years ago. Security guards moved toward the exits, blocking escape routes. Did you really think we wouldn't investigate Charles's granddaughter? We've known about you since that viral video. Then why let me in? Eleanor smiled coldly. Because now we can eliminate the last threat to our organization, on neutral ground, far from federal surveillance. But Zara smiled back. You made one mistake. What's that, dear? You assumed I came alone. The lights cut out. Emergency lighting kicked in, bathing the room in red shadows. FBI agents rappelled through skylights. Doors exploded inward as tactical teams flooded the estate. FBI! Nobody move! In the chaos, Zara dove behind an antique table as bullets started flying. Richard's security guards were well trained, but they were facing federal agents with body armor and superior numbers. The firefight lasted 3 minutes. When the shooting stopped, 11 of the 12 Circle members were in custody. Richard Pemberton lay dead, having chosen suicide over capture. Agent Martinez found Zara unharmed behind the overturned table. Outstanding work. We got everything on tape. What happens now? The largest RICO prosecution in American history. 12 families, hundreds of murders, billions in stolen assets. But as they left Martha's Vineyard in federal custody boats, Zara noticed something troubling. Several boats had left the island during the firefight. Not everyone in the Circle had been captured. William met them at the Boston FBI field office, relief flooding his face when he saw Zara unharmed. It's over, he said, hugging her tightly. Is it? Deputy Attorney General Walsh approached with updates. Charles Ashworth was found dead in his cell an hour ago. Apparent suicide. Left a full confession. Suicide or murder? Does it matter? Justice is served. But as they celebrated victory, none of them saw the news report playing on silent televisions throughout the building. Breaking, federal judge. Orders release of Circle assets due to procedural errors in arrests. The war was far from over. 6 months later. Boston Common, the same bench where William and Zara first met as father and daughter. The legal battles had been brutal. Federal prosecutors fought corrupt judges. Evidence disappeared. Witnesses died in accidents. But slowly, steadily, justice prevailed. Victoria's deathbed revelations proved ironclad. Swiss bank accounts exposed decades of murder-for-hire payments. Audio recordings captured planning sessions. DNA evidence linked Circle members to unsolved killings dating back 30 years. The trials became international news. Real-life stories of murdered women finally told. Black stories that mattered. Voices that couldn't be silenced anymore. Elena Vasquez's family attended every hearing. Jennifer Lane's parents flew in from California to testify. Angela Washington's sister spoke for victims everywhere. These weren't statistics. These were daughters, dreams, futures stolen by greed and hatred. Zara sat in the front row of each trial, wearing her mother's sapphire ring, a symbol of love that survived murder attempts, of truth that conquered lies. The verdicts came down like thunder. Guilty. Life without parole. Guilty. Life without parole. Guilty. Life without parole. 11 billionaires reduced to federal prison numbers. Their empires dissolved, assets distributed to victims' families and social justice organizations. But the real healing happened quietly, away from cameras and courtrooms. William sold Ashworth Industries, donating the proceeds to establish the Sarah Johnson Foundation. Medical scholarships for underprivileged students, legal aid for families fighting corrupt systems, housing assistance for single mothers. Mom always wanted to help people, Zara said at the foundation's launch. Now she can help them forever. Harvard Medical School welcomed Zara with open arms, full scholarship naturally. She'd decided to become a forensic pathologist, giving voice to victims who couldn't speak for themselves. The matching rings became more than symbols. William had them studied by historians, genealogists, archaeologists. The story emerged slowly. Sarah had bought the rings at a Cambridge antique shop, Ceylon sapphires mined in 1923. Silver bands crafted by Tamil immigrants. The shopkeeper's grandmother had worn one during her journey to America, fleeing colonial oppression. Even the rings have stories of survival, William marveled. Father and daughter spend every Sunday together now, making up for lost time, learning each other's languages, his world of corporate responsibility, her world of social justice. I dream about her sometimes, Zara confided one afternoon. Mom, she's young again, healthy again. Tell me she's proud. She should be. You finished what she started. We finished it. Together. The documentary premiered at Sundance Film Festival, The Ring Truth, A Daughter's Journey to Justice. Zara narrated her own story, her voice carrying strength earned through pain. Critics called it powerful. Survivors called it necessary. Hollywood called it Oscar-worthy. But Zara cared most about the phone calls. Messages from young women who'd watched the documentary and found courage to report their own abusers. Men who'd confronted their own racism. Families who'd started difficult conversations about prejudice and power. Real change happens one person at a time, she said in an interview. One story at a time, one truth at a time. The foundation grew beyond anyone's imagination. Offices in 12 cities, programs in 30 states, international partnerships fighting corruption and violence. Victoria's final gift kept giving. Hidden accounts continued surfacing, each one funding new programs. The old woman had been planning this victory for decades, patient as time itself. Zara graduated medical school with highest honors. William cried during the ceremony, thinking about Sarah watching from somewhere beyond pain and fear. She would have been so proud, he whispered. She is proud, Zara corrected. Love doesn't die. It just changes shape. The sapphire rings caught afternoon sunlight as they walked through Boston Common. Father and daughter. Survivors of a war that lasted 25 years. What now? William asked. Now we keep fighting. Keep telling stories. Keep seeking justice. For how long? Until every voice is heard, until every story matters, until love always wins. The camera pulled back slowly, showing them walking together toward the future. Two people who'd found each other across decades of separation, who'd chosen courage over comfort, who'd proven that truth, however buried, always finds a way to breathe. And if you're listening to this story, wondering if your voice matters, if your truth deserves to be heard, it does. Every story has power. Every person has worth. Every ring has its match somewhere in the world, waiting to complete the circle. Share this story if it touched your heart. Subscribe to our channel if you believe in the power of real-life stories. And remember, sometimes the greatest miracles come disguised as the courage to keep searching for truth. Until next time, keep believing in the impossible. Keep fighting for justice. Keep looking for your own matching ring.